I love cosplay. I used to go to conventions 2 or 3 times a year, and I would never not cosplay at them. Like, I would always do cosplay in some form, whether it was a full-blown, like, dressing as a character or something a little bit more subtle. I never kind of just went plainly dressed. I've done characters like Honey Lemon from Big Hero 6, I've done Ash Ketchum from the Pokemon anime, and I've done Newt Scamander, well, I did a female version of Newt Scamander from Fantastic Beasts, and that's just a few of them. I've even been known to pull together some more last minute costumes, like for things like Halloween. I did Sorcerer Mickey from Fantasia, which I literally pulled together in the space of about 2 hours. My friend was like, hey, we're going to a Halloween party tonight. And I was like, oh, okay. So I just really quickly pulled that one together. I also did Mona the Vampire, which I loved. That was genuinely one of my favourite like outfits that I've ever done. I thought it was really cool. But even without lockdown, I have not been to a convention in a long time. I think definitely the last convention I went to was London Film and Comic Con. And I think that was about 3 years ago. So it's definitely been a while considering I used to go like twice a year. But unfortunately, I just don't really have the time or the money anymore. Well, to be fair, I didn't really have the money in the first place. I don't really know how I did it. But either way, I've not been in a long time, regardless of lockdown. I was inspired by a Buzzfeed video where they made cosplays out of stuff in their wardrobe. I'll link that down below if that's something you're interested in watching. You know, I just thought it'd be interesting to see what I could make out of stuff in my wardrobe, you know, in lieu of the real thing. Step 1 was having a rummage through my wardrobe. Now, I had some items which would have made it very easy, but it felt kind of like cheating because they were items that are almost already cosplay. Like, for example, I have a Legend of Zelda hoodie, which looks like Link's tunic. I have a Hufflepuff jumper. I have Joy's dress from Inside Out. It just didn't feel like it was really part of the challenge. I also want to point out that I don't have any wigs at the moment, so none of these hairs will be even remotely accurate. But just deal with it because it's the best I can do. I actually found this challenge quite difficult, you know, because there were some items that I really wanted to use, like they were quite quirky items of clothing, and I was like, oh, like there must be some sort of character from a video game or a cartoon or a film that I can think of that might have worn something similar to this because it's so kind of almost eccentric. But it was really difficult because, you know, if you're making a cosplay, you're thinking of the character and then thinking of where you can get the clothes. But just looking at the clothes, I was coming a complete blank of what characters that it could fit in with. But eventually I came up with 3 options. Number 1 is Mary Poppins. Now, Mary Poppins is one of my all-time favourite films. I've kind of already done a cosplay-esque of her because I Disney bounded her Jolly Holiday outfit for my 18th birthday in Disneyland Paris. So I've kind of already dabbled in this area. I felt like this skirt, which is actually one of my favourite skirts, I felt like it fit very nicely to her character. All I needed then was a white shirt and a red bow tie. White shirt obviously was very easy, it's something most people will have in their wardrobe. Red bow tie I didn't actually have, but I do have a red hair bow, which I think, you know, would work perfectly fine. One thing I definitely didn't have was anything that I could use for her hat. Aaron gave me some options of his own hats, but they definitely didn't work. So instead I just went with some white and red hair accessories to try and kind of fit the vibe and give a nod to her hat. I really like how this all came together. Now, I have Mary Poppins' actual umbrella. Well, it's not her actual umbrella, it's a replica of her umbrella, which may be cheating. I don't know, probably is cheating, but it is the umbrella that I actually do just use, so I'm gonna count it. The shirt was definitely too small, but it's the only white shirt I have at the moment, so it had to make do. So it's a bit tight, but oh well. I know that Mary Poppins normally wears a coat. I didn't have a coat that was anywhere near what she would kind of normally wear. Aaron does have a coat that is kind of similar. I tried it on and we tried to do a little bit of filming with it, but it was comically large, kind of ruined it. Well, it didn't really ruin it. It looks all right, but it definitely is just too big. Now, this was definitely the most makeshift kind of costume of the 3 of them. The kind of blue thing that she has hanging off her belt was just a blue tea towel. It had various different belts, didn't really look like the ones she wears, but the colours were close enough for me. I think this kind of fit the vibe of the challenge very well. The dress wasn't the right material, but it was definitely the perfect colour, and the sleeves weren't right, but hey ho. As for her like cloak thing, the best thing I could use was just a white fleece and then just wrap it around my shoulders. I didn't have any green bracelets, so I just kind of used a bracelet that had some green in it. I also used this blue necklace. Now I know the blue thing that she has on her costume is part of the dress, but I thought, considering I found this lying around, it was pretty close. Unlike the other outfits, which kind of could pass as cosplay, this one definitely just was me putting something together. Like, literally, I know I've already said it, but it's the tea towels and it, you know, it's clearly not a cosplay. Although really, when you consider it, Zelda's costume is kind of the least normal out of the three that I did. So considering that I don't have any actual items of cosplay, I don't think it looks too bad. Maybe one day I'll have an actual Skyward Sword Zelda costume, but for now, this one will have to do. For my final cosplay, I went for Princess Aurora from Sleeping Beauty. The first thing I picked out was this skirt. Funnily enough, I've never actually worn this skirt out in public. I bought it about a week before lockdown started, so I have had no reason to wear it unless I wanted to sleep in it. I simply paired it with a white shirt. I know she doesn't wear a shirt, it looks like more of a jumper with a shirt underneath, but I just didn't have that, so I didn't do it. And then a black tank. Again, she wears like a black corset. Don't have that. A black tank top is close enough for me. This definitely felt like the simplest and easiest cosplay. Now she wears a black headband. I don't own any headbands, so yeah, I didn't do that. But I did kind of want to have something on my head, so I wore this white flower crown. She never wears anything remotely like this, but I thought it fit the vibe, so it went into the outfit. So yeah, this was definitely one of the most basic outfits, but really it kind of felt like the one that was closest to the actual character. I know that the colours aren't really perfect, but it definitely felt recognisable, and I really felt like I'd stepped into her shoes with this outfit, especially with the like flowy skirt and all. I really had a lot of fun with this challenge. I really miss cosplaying, and going to a convention I think is definitely going to be one of the things at the top of my list when lockdown ends. I know a lot of cosplays that you see on the internet are really detailed and really accurate to the characters. I really wish that I had the money and talent to be able to do something like that. But at the same time, cosplay is for everyone and anyone that wants to do it. My first cosplay was not good. It was the 11th Doctor. I got it from charity shops mostly. The colours were wrong. I didn't have a wig, but it was recognisable and I loved walking around in it. I wore it so many times. Cosplay doesn't have to be this big, scary thing that looks really hard and difficult and expensive. If you want to do it, just have a go. Pull together something from your wardrobe or scour charity shops. Because for me, conventions are one of the most welcoming places that I've ever been to. So if cosplay is something you've never done before but really wanted to try, just have a go. And hopefully I'll see you at the first convention after lockdown. Stay safe, guys. See you soon.